Hello, everyone. Well, it's that time of year again. The time has arrived. The time has arrived. It's Heavenly Mother's Day. I wish all of you a very, very happy Heavenly Mother's Day. And Heavenly Mother's Day precedes Earthly Mother's Day, which is Mother's Day on Sunday. Earthly Mother's Day is on Sunday, but Heavenly Mother's Day is on Wednesday, the Wednesday before Mother's Day. And this is a very important time for us. We celebrate the Heavenly Mother and we honor her and her all of her creation. The goddess is a mother. The goddess is a mother, and because she's a mother, she cares for her children. She nurtures her children. She feeds them the way a mother would feed her own child from her own breast. She feeds the children. She feeds the children and she cares for her children. So we celebrate this Heavenly Mother every year. So what does the Heavenly Mother have to convey to us? What does she have for us to learn from her? Well, she has many things that we can learn from her. There are many things that we can learn from our Heavenly Mother. One of which, her mothers are protective of their children. They can be fierce in their protection of their children, but mostly they're peaceful. So they defend their children, but they're mostly peaceful. They believe in peace, these mothers. And because if they don't believe in peace, their children come to harm, right? So our Heavenly Mother is the wisest of all, so she knows to be peaceful in all of her dealings. She emphasizes peace over all else, and maintaining peace and being a peaceful person. So who in this world today is defying our Heavenly Mother in the peace department? Who is the most unpeaceful person we can think of? Well, obviously that would be Donald Trump, because he's made war on Venezuela and Iran within the space of a single year. Within the space of a single year, he's attacked Venezuela, taken Maduro captive, and brought him to America. He's attacked Iran and killed their Ayatollah, and made war on, still making war on them, even though he claims the war is over. He still has all of his naval vessels stationed over there and attacks as he sees the need to do so. He's still over there, but he's claiming it's not a war so that he can keep it going without Congress's approval. He doesn't want to wait for Congress's approval. He doesn't want to accept Congress's approval. He wants to keep it going, so he says it's not a war because he wants to keep it going. And this is not good. This is not good. So Donald Trump does not embody the characteristics of loving mother or loving father. Yes, he seems to be quite fierce in his defense of his children, the Americans, but he isn't really protecting us. He isn't protecting us because he doesn't espouse the principles of peace. Principles of peace say that peace comes first before all else, that we honor peace and we try to maintain peace and peaceful relations with other countries whenever possible. We try to maintain the peace, and we try to keep the peace, and we try to promote peace in all of our dealings. Well, Trump has done nothing but make war since his second term began. And he didn't make war in his first term, so he was able to use that as leverage to get elected to a second term, and then he immediately starts making war in his second term. So that's not good. That's not good at all. People had it right the first time, I guess, when they voted for Biden over Trump, even though Biden was a complete and utter disaster in his own way. They don't seem to be able to provide quality candidates for us anymore. It's the fault of the Democratic and Republican parties that they're not producing viable candidates anymore. They have the oldest people in the whole country running the show. And the reason why they have the oldest people in the country running the show is because they've run out of candidates. They don't have any good candidates to offer us. And why is this? It's deliberate. It's deliberate. It's the elites. The elites in this country want the people to suffer, and they want them to suffer badly. So they put the least viable candidates up for view and up for show in front of. We had so many good candidates. We had so many candidates to choose from, and now they're all gone. They're all gone, and they're not viable anymore. So we got the worst candidates we could possibly imagine. And that's what happened. We got the worst candidates we could imagine, and they didn't do a very good job. Biden didn't do a very good job, and now Trump isn't doing a very good job. So we're in trouble. We're in trouble now because we're in danger of getting into a wider war with Russia and China. A wider war. Right now, Putin of Russia has promised the president of Iran that he will defend them and he will come to their aid against the U.S., that he will help them. Who knows how he plans on helping them? Who knows if he plans on giving them weapons, or if he's thinking of something worse, like sending troops over to attack America directly. So we're not safe. We're not safe anymore. We're not safe in America, and we're not safe in the wider world. Excuse me. So, the goddess is trying to send us a pretty blatant message. She is saying the choices you make have importance. The choices you make are important. And when you choose incorrectly, there's grave consequences. There's consequences for your whole nation when you choose incorrectly. So she's trying to teach us how to make choices and how to choose wisely. That's the message that our Mother Goddess is bringing us this Heavenly Mother's Day, is to choose wisely and to choose peace and to choose a peacemaker over a warmonger. Now, Trump thinks he's doing something good because he thinks he's preventing Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. But really what he's doing is setting the stage for the future where Iranians will be defiant of America and even more motivated to seek a nuclear weapon than they were before, because America is perceived as an actual threat to their country. Not just a perceived threat or a threat according to the Ayatollah, but an actual threat that threatened us on a world stage by saying we were going to annihilate their civilization and never to be returned again. Well, never is a long time, and Trump knows it, but he said it anyway. He said it anyway. And now we're in trouble. We could get into a wider war with Russia. And Russia is saying now that if we send any weapons at all to Ukraine to defend Ukraine, that he'll consider that an act of war and immediately attack America. That's what he says. We don't know if it's all for show and Putin is full of it, or whether he really means it or not. Well, we shouldn't try him. We shouldn't try his temper. So we need to stay out of wars. That's what we need to do. We need to stay out of wars. And Heavenly Mother can show us the way. Heavenly Mother can show us the way of peace. And the way to maintain peace and seek peace, and not to instigate wars. Because when you instigate wars for whatever reason, like saying, oh, we don't want this country to have a nuclear weapon, then you motivate them to want a nuclear weapon even more. Because then they have a motive. When you say you're going to destroy their civilization, then they have a motivation to get the nuclear weapon, no matter how they accomplish it. And they've got nuclear power plants they have nuclear power plants in Iran. And they can manufacture plutonium and uranium for these bombs. So it's only a matter of time before they do get a nuclear weapon, because they are a real threat to us. But we should not have attacked them, because we gave a whole new generation a motivation to attack us. So we shouldn't have made the first move, and Trump certainly shouldn't have threatened their civilization. That's the worst thing he could have done. So we pray this Heavenly Mother's Day that the Heavenly Mother will show us the way of peace. And she'll guide us to peaceful action and guide us to a world full of peace. That's what we ask for this Heavenly Mother's Day, and that's what we seek, is peace. Now, Trump came really close this time with the would-be assassin that tried to take him and a whole bunch of world leaders out at this press meeting. It was a press dinner, a correspondence dinner. And there was a very unpeaceful person barged in and tried to take Trump out. Trump came close. He came really, really close this time. But did he learn anything from it? No. No, he didn't learn anything from his experience. He's more defiant than ever before. He sees his survival of each time he survives one of these potential attacks. He comes back meaner and badder and worse than ever before, because he thinks that he's been given a sign that he's doing great, and he should just keep doing exactly what he's been doing, because it's a sign from God that he's just doing just fine and he's doing the right thing, and that he was spared just because he's doing the right thing. And this is his belief. He believes that he has nothing to learn from these experiences except that he should keep on doing more of what he's been doing. And that's too bad. That's too bad that he didn't learn anything about the ways of peace from this correspondence dinner where he was almost assassinated. He could have learned something. Instead, he comes back with another threat to bomb Iran, I should say. Another threat to bomb Iran. And just not seeking the way of peace. Why is he trying to prolong this almost indefinitely? Why won't he give us an end date to this conflict? Because he's using it to cover up the Epstein files. He's trying to to kill the Jeffrey Epstein story and bury it and be done with it and cover it up for all eternity. That's what he's trying to do. So we need to do something. We need to bring the Epstein files to light. That's what we need to do. We need to bring the Epstein files into focus and bring them to the light where everyone can see them. That's what we need to do before Trump has a chance to destroy all of the evidence. And that's what he's trying to do right now. That's what he's been doing, is destroying all the evidence. So we need to make sure that the Epstein files are preserved and that they come to light. And that's the message for our leaders in Congress, who seems that Trump the King isn't giving any regard to our congressional system at all, and thinks that he can rule with impunity once he's elected. But that's not the way it goes in a country with checks and balances. Trump has to have a check on his power somehow, somewhere. He can't just do whatever he feels like and get away with it. He has to have some checks on his power. And that's where Congress comes in. Congress and the judiciary are supposed to check the power of the elected official, the president. And they haven't been doing it. They haven't been doing their job. So tell your congressperson to bring the Epstein files to light before they're gone. Because we need to know the truth. We need to know the truth of whether Trump's involvement with Jeffrey Epstein goes even deeper. So that's it. You guys have a terrific Heavenly Mother's Day and a terrific Earthly Mother's Day. And I will see you next Wednesday.